Hi, it's Dr. Ange Wellman from the Wellman Clinic here in Peterborough, Ontario, and I am a prenatal and pediatric chiropractor who also likes to work with exhausted moms and a few dads. And I'm here to talk to you today at the Business Summit about burnout and how I feel that it is one of the biggest risks that your business faces. Now, why is that? Well, quite simply, quote that I love by Bruce Lipton, you can't be in growth and protection at the same time. So your business can't be in growth and protection at the same time, and your body can't be in growth and protection at the same time. So when we're juggling all the balls, like so many of us entrepreneurs do, in fact, I think all of us do, and we're constantly facing stressors, what happens is our gas pedal goes on. A nerdy way of saying that is our body goes into what we call the fight, flight, or even nerdier, the sympathetic nervous system. And if we don't give ourselves enough time to recover, or if we get stuck in a situation where the gas pedal is constantly on, then the brakes never come on. And when the brakes come on, the body is able to go into rest, and it goes into what we call the parasympathetic nervous system. So what happens with burnout is that we basically get into a situation where the gas pedal is on all the time, the brakes aren't really coming on that much, and the nervous system gets stuck in a vicious circle of stress. So why do I talk about this as a chiropractor? Well, because stress affects the spine. It affects the body, and the spine makes up a big part of our body. And when stress affects the spine, there's a phenomena that happens that basically causes the nervous system to get stuck in stress. So most of us think of chiropractors as back pain specialists. I'm a chiropractor that focuses on neurology. So burnout, back to burnout. The gas pedal gets stuck on, the brakes can't come on. So what causes this is our stressors. So I can think of a million stressors that we face as entrepreneurs. And in the office, we like to categorize them as physical stresses, chemical stresses, and emotional stresses. So I'm going to paint you a picture of what I see in my practice as a typical entrepreneur. Physical stressors, well, some entrepreneurs, they're not exercising at all. Others, type A personalities, they're exercising a lot and they're really pushing themselves. So that's a physical stress. Other physical stressors are that most of us tend to sit for long periods of time, and sitting is really hard on the spine. And what's hard on the spine is hard on the nervous system. Other physical stressors could be falls and traumas that you've had, and you may have a job that's really physical. So we have our physical stresses, then we have our chemical stresses. So how many of you like to have a glass of wine or maybe a bottle at the end of the day? Some of us are using cannabis to be able to sleep or just for pure pleasure. The food that we eat when we're busy entrepreneurs, oftentimes what we put into our bodies is kind of the last thing on our mind. So we might be eating a lot of takeout, eating on the go, skipping meals. Or if the stressors of running a business are getting to us, we may tend to eat too much. So those are some examples of a typical chemical stress for an entrepreneur. And then the emotional stressors, well, those are pretty much unlimited. Most of us are managing families as well as our businesses. And then you've got employees and you've got targets you want to reach, goals you want to achieve. And then there's those things like pandemics that are out of our control that are piling all of the stressors on. So the stressors are really the cause of why the nervous system goes into this fight-flight state. And over time, if it's constant stressors, we're stuck in this vicious cycle and the brake pedal never comes on, the body's never able to come into rest, well, then we start to get into the effects, which show up as fatigue, trouble with our mental clarity. When we're in a constant stress state, it's really hard to maintain our productivity. And it's hard to maintain our creativity as well. We just can't come up with those new ideas when our brains are stuck in a state where we're running away from tigers. As well, long term, if we've had chronic stress for a long time, we're going to start to see all kinds of symptoms. And that's typically what people come into my office with, is the symptoms, which are the effects of this process that's been going on for a long time. So what are our solutions? Well, obviously, chiropractic is an amazing solution to help your body come out of the perfect storm of stressors and the effect that they're having on your nervous system. So the chiropractic adjustment activates the relaxation response like nothing else and helps to reset that nervous system. But we have to address those stressors. So in my practice, I talk about the pillars of health that are really important to be paying attention to. And those are how we eat, how we move, how we're thinking, and how we recover. And most of us are not spending a lot of time on the recovery. We are in a society that really values productivity, and it's go, go, go all the time. So this has been a really quick overview of what happens with burnout. To recap, the gas pedal gets stuck on, the nervous system is in a chronic state of stress, and over time, it's going to lead to symptoms that can really affect how productive you can be in your business, how much your business can grow. It can affect what's happening with your employees, your mental health, and then ultimately, at some point, it's going to affect your physical health. And most of us are doing this because we want to live a really good life. And so if we're working our butts off and we're not taking care of our health, we're really kind of working against what our ultimate goal is, which is to have a really great life. So if you found this video helpful and you recognize that one of your employees or maybe yourself is on the road to burnout, I would love to help you. So either you can share this video or you can reach out to me directly and we can talk about ways in which chiropractic can help you assess where your nervous system's at and ultimately help improve your nervous system so that you can get the most out of your life and your business.